Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Learning to Live Life on a Budget. My name is Millie. This is check-in for week 1 of June. Going to do things slightly differently today. I'm going to do my actual check-in on the calendar and the Budget Mum paycheck sheet that I use for each week. And then in a separate video, I'll do my savings challenges and with what I've got left over from the week and stuff for next week. I'm a little bit mindful that my videos are getting quite long. I also have had migraines on and off all week. Started from, I won't bore you with the details, but I had one, then I had a few days doing better, and then I was struck down again. So it's a bit of a messy one. So that's all I can say. It's a very messy week. I don't expect things to add up. I didn't track my spending. I had money go into my bank account, and I will go into more detail of that while we break it down. So firstly, shall we do the calendar check-in? How is everyone doing? How has your June been? Hopefully you'll be able to see this okay. If I zoom in, I can't zoom back out again. So should we just get started and see how the week treated us? So Friday was a no spend. I had migraine. So I had to spend in cash only. I did not have cash. So I only had cash, but I wasn't going anywhere to spend it. So it worked out well. Then on Saturday, I have a Tesco shop delivered. On groceries, I spent £82.50. Sorry, I've just knocked my camera. Cats, I spent in that shop £10.80. Travel, I spent £3.50 for delivery. And then as I was feeling better that afternoon, some friends came round and I treated us all to a takeaway, and it came to £30.70, which I don't think is too bad for 6 people, especially in this day and age. So there, if you couldn't see it before, hopefully you can see it a bit better now. So I'm highlighting groceries and travel because they're out of my weekly cash envelopes. And then my monthly cash envelopes, cats and eating out. Then Sunday was another no spend. Fantastic, because my goal for this month is to have 6. I set my goal quite high last month, so I wanted to get another no spend day in. And Monday was also a no spend day, so that's even better news. I'm halfway to reaching my goal in week 1, so even though I'll tell you now, we're going to get into the spendy bit and the complicated bit, or it's complicated in my mind, and I don't know if that's just because I still feel a bit rough around the edges. If you have migraines, you know what it's like. You don't wake up and they're instantly gone and you instantly feel better. They wipe you out a bit. So on the Tuesday, this is where it gets complicated, because normally my savings and sinking funds, once that envelope is stuffed, I will include it on here, but I'll go into it in the next sheet. I had money come into my bank account. So on Tuesday, I spent £27 out of the vet's saving envelope. I bought worming stuff for my cats, so that came out of there. I then also spent £5 out of the cat's envelope, their monthly envelope, because I got them a toy and a couple of treats. So what I spent on them on Saturday, part of my Tesco shop, was food, and then today was treats. I spent £5 out of health and wellness on vitamins, because there's a lot of lurgies going around at the moment, and we had like pretty much nothing left. I spent, let's do the rest of the cash envelopes. My friend gave me a lift out, so I spent £5 out of fun. It should be social, but I bought their child a McDonald's as a little treat, which was really nice to be able to have the money to do. So I took it out of fun because they're like family, and although the fun envelope is predominantly for me and my daughter, I had 15 quid in there, so I thought a fiver to buy them a McDonald's is absolutely fine. I spent £10 out of the clothes sinking fund. When we get into the nitty gritty of it, this is where it all goes wrong. And £5 out of home sinking fund, because this is money I had in cash and envelopes, but I actually had money on my card, so I spent it on my card. I have taken it out to pay myself back. I also spent £59.93 on Amazon and other places for my daughter's birthday bits. That was money I'd taken out of the sinking fund envelope and put into the bank. I have a spare bank account that I use when I have putting money in for groceries next week, or like birthday stuff. I can transfer it in and out of my account, but I can't actually, like, I don't have a card for it, so I have to go and transfer it if I want to use it. This is where it's not going to make sense if you watch my videos regularly. A bed. I'm just going to put that bed for my daughter, and that was £155.17. So that, and I'm going to put it as savings, and I'll explain why in a minute. Technically, I don't know what it comes under. The joys of when things don't quite go right. So that was Tuesday, really spendy day. Then Wednesday, I spent £5 out of social. I went for a coffee with a friend. I was feeling okay. Maybe I shouldn't have done that because I think it triggered my migraine to go from headache to migraine. I also spent another £22.95. I don't know whether this should be social. It was for bits for the home, as I'd ordered my daughter's bed. I've put it as sinking fund spend because if it had been in cash, and I might have taken it out, I would have taken out the home one. And I also had a bill go out, which I wasn't expecting to go out this week, of £5.99. I thought it was going to go out next week. Oh, I can't see the highlighter for that one. There it is. So that went out. It's all been a bit chaotic the last few days. I don't know if you can tell. And then yesterday, I spent £47.73 out of birthday sinking fund. Again, this money was not from the actual envelope. I've got it in my purse to put back in the bank, but it came out of bank payment. And then eating out, we'd already spent our takeaway money, but we ended up getting another takeaway because I had a pretty rough day migraine wise, so it's just not been my week really. So I don't need them anymore. Yeah, that's my week. It feels a bit hectic, and when I think back, I didn't write any of these things down at the time. I wrote Saturday down. The rest of the week I didn't write down, and I've had to go through my bank, and I imagine there might be stuff that's due to come out that hasn't gone out maybe. So we'll see how the numbers work out, or I've forgotten to write something down. But it's been a real week of highlighting I need to only spend cash and not have money on my card, because it's been a real hit and miss. Like these I spent on card. I took money out of the envelopes to put back in my bank to replace what I've spent here. And yeah, for all of these, really, well, I didn't have £22.95 in home. That's why I wonder if I should have been spending. It's a headache sort of week, and it doesn't help. I don't feel great. So let's go to where everything has been. So my rollover was higher than expected for this week. I had £345.40. I received child benefit of £21.80, and then I had £403 other income. And this, I'm really sorry if you can hear that. You probably can. It feels very loud. My cat in a list tray. What perfect timing. £403 other income. This is where I got thrown off. So the vet's money for the worming, I paid for in cash. I took it out of my vet saving envelope, and I had £3 in change because I took out £30. And rather than just put £3 in coins back in, I've got it and I've added it into my income, and it will go into savings challenges. But the £400, if you've seen my other videos, I have something in my monthly breakdown sheets called Mum Savings. Now, my mum has always had to help me with money, and I, in March, received a big back payment from personal dependence payment because they approved my claim and it had taken ages to sort. So I got a big back payment, and I didn't include all of that in my budget because it went on certain things. And my mum had £400 of this back payment left because I gave it all to her and she gave it to me in dribs and drabs. It was how in April I could make big debt payments because I used it for that. And that £400 was for, I had thoughts, I knew where it was going to go. £400 of it was for, 195 was for the advance payment on my car that I'm receiving through PIP. So that was basically 200 set aside for that. I had £100 set aside for petrol to fill up the tank of the car because I don't know how much it's going to cost, especially with petrol prices increasing. And then I had £100 spare. Now I have some news to share. I might be moving in August to a new home. I live in housing association, so it means housing association and council. If you're not from the UK, it is owned by the government. It's social housing, cheaper housing. And basically you rent the homes from them, you get given a secure tenancy, so they can't just suddenly decide to sell and kick you out or anything. And in that system, because once you get given a property, only if you have specific needs, because you go back on the list for a different property, you are able to swap with each other. And I'm not going to be going far, but it's just a bit more far removed. I live in a small city, but it's very busy and chaotic, and that's not great for my mental health. And this is just 10 minutes outside the city. So the other £100 from my mum's savings, 195 was for the car, 100 was for petrol, and then I'd left the other 100 with her with the intention of I'll use this to start bulking up savings for home. And you'll probably see that in my savings challenges. I will start doing savings challenges for home. I've already started one. I've put a little bit of money in it. Here it is. I think that's £6 in there. Sorry, that was noisy, but that's where that money's gonna go. But basically, with the PIP back pay, my daughter needed a new bed, and we ordered her one on the 20th of March from the range. They kept pushing the delivery date back. My daughter's like, no, I really want that bed. I'll wait for it. Her single bed frame broke because she'd been jumping on the bed. That's a whole other discussion. And so she's been sleeping on, it's a very good mattress, but she's sleeping on the floor. And it was meant to be delivered this week. And on Tuesday morning, I got an email. We've had to push it back till the beginning of July. I'm like, what? I said to my daughter, I know you want this bed. It's not, to me, when I see it, it's not anything special, but it's something she really wanted. And I said to her, I cannot go on like this. You cannot go on like this. You're sleeping on the floor. They keep delaying. And they said, I'll take £200 out of this savings that my mum has, and we'll order you a bed. And then when I get the refund in, we'll replace it. Anyway, my mum just went and transferred me the full 400, which was not ideal. And I thought, oh, it's okay. I'm doing this budgeting. I'm in control. Well, as you've seen from my spending this week, I am not in control. So out of that £400 that she had saved in her savings account for me, I only have £131 and 7p left in my bank account. I do, however, have money in my purse to put back into my bank where I've spent out of envelopes that should have been in cash. So let's break it down. I haven't topped up the electric key yet. I have got a buffer on there, so I'll just roll that into next week. My bill account currently has a rollover of 69p. I'll have to take money for bills for next week out of here, out of my bank account rollover. My office came out early. That would have been part of my bill account rollover at £5.99. So I spent £137.75. So let's do the calculations as we go. Let's hope it's all okay. So my total income was £770.20, and my total bill spend and what's left in my bank account is £137.75. So that leaves me with £632.45 to roll over. I'm really sorry if this is really shaky. I'm slightly aware that it keeps moving and I'm not sure why. So then, out of my my cash envelopes, I spent £82.50 on groceries. I went over. It's because I bought cake. Me and my daughter really fancy cake. We overspent on cake. Essentially, that was what it was. The grocery budget was under. I ordered online. It was really late at night, and we were both like, we really fancy cake. It's coming tomorrow lunchtime. Bish bash bosh. A couple of clicks later, I've spent about £4 on a couple of different cake varieties because we didn't know what one we wanted. That's on me. It was really yummy though, so it was totally worth it. That £2.50 over is not a big deal. It's a shame because I would have been under, but oh well. Travel, I've only spent £3.50. I've not really been anywhere apart from when my friend took me out because of the migraines, so that's the delivery fee for Tesco's. Spending, I've spent nothing in. I've rolled that money into takeaway money, eating out. Payday spends, I spent nothing, but I hadn't budgeted anything. I spent £15.80 out of the £50 that I had in the cat's monthly cash envelope. I spent £5 out of health and wellness. £64.10 I spent on eating out this week. £5 out of social and £5 out of fun. Nothing out of mine or my daughter's cash envelopes. And sorry, this is really scruffy. This is why I should use rub out pens. I love biros, but the rub outs are good for this point of view. I don't have Tipex. My weekly rollover is going to be £85 in cash, purely because I've got £40 in electric to roll over, and so I have £40 in the weekly rollover envelope already. I have £40 of the electric to roll over, and then I'm going to take £5 out of my travel envelope to roll over to next week, because I'm going out with, so look, £20 out of electric, and then £5 out of travel, going into weekly rollover to make it £85 to roll over to next week. So that would be 20, 40, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80, 85. I wanted the extra £5 for travel next week because we're going out this weekend, so I didn't want to leave us with it's in my cheap travel week, so I only budgeted 10, but I think we'll spend about maybe £6 next week. Yeah, so that came to a total of £225.90. I forgot about the electric rollover when I first added it. So we had 632.45, take away 225.90 equals £406.55 to roll over towards, oh, I'm so sorry, shaky, towards sinking funds. So this sinking fund is not stuffing, it's what I've spent. I have ordered my daughter a new bed. It's coming with Argos. I have cancelled the order from the range, but I'm waiting for the refund to come in from that. It's going to be about £130. So it will top up my balance again, and I'll have the money for the car and some for petrol, but I have spent some of it on stuff that wasn't essential, like home spending, clothes with school shirts. She needed that, but I took that out in cash, and it's sitting in my purse waiting to go back to the bank. Just show you here, I have a nice little chunk to go back in banking, but because I need to put money aside for car, I need to have that 195 above anything else. I need to make sure I've got that, because it could come at any time. In fact, I'm waiting for a phone call this afternoon to update me on where the car is. Is it built? Is it in this country? Is it on a ferry over from Spain? But I need to have that 195. So I was going to leave it in the bank because I think they prefer me to pay on card, but this week has shown me, this spending here has shown me I need to do cash only. So I'm going to take it out. I'm just going to stick it in a normal paper envelope and put car payment on it. And then if they want it paid in card, I'll put it in the bank on my way to collect the car. So I ordered my daughter a bed frame. So this is all spending. But it's come out of sinking fund categories, and these categories aren't necessarily, home was not stuffed for this capacity. Birthday was, I took the money out, it's in cash in my, some of it was in the bank, some of it's in cash that's to go back in the bank in my purse, but I took it out, the other money, I'm hoping it will all weigh itself out. Anyway, so bed was 155.17, we got 20% off, that was really good. got a slightly better one than what she was going to have. I spent £25.95 on home bits, like bits for around the house. I got my daughter some new bedding for a new bed when it comes, and bits for the bathroom. £10 on clothes, like I said, that was school shirts, and then birthday present bits. This is all for my daughter. I found it really hard to stick to the £150 budget I set myself. I feel like she hasn't got much, but that's because like she's got one of her presents is a game for the Switch that was 40 quid. And then fuel sinking fund. So I have, because I'm going to cash stuff in a different video, I'm going to take out what's left in travel, which is £20, and I'm going to stick it over here, ready for the next video, to cash stuff it into my fuel sinking fund. And so that was a total of £318.78. So that was our rollover, take away sinking fund spend, and that leaves us with £87.77. I haven't read it right. £87.77. No extra debt payments were made. Can't write. Hopefully this is making sense, because it doesn't to me. So challenges, I'm going to put £5.30 in. I have £3 left from where I spent £30 on the vet savings. The vet savings didn't come into my budget, so I've just brought in the £3 because I could have just chucked it in savings, but I didn't want to. And then I have in my purse £2.30. That's left over from one of the takeaways. So I went over budget in groceries anyway, so there was no change left over. Spending, that is spending, because I rolled the tenner spending into takeaways. Travel, I've just sorted that out. Electric, I didn't use, but I've stuffed it into next week. I have in here, to go back to the bank, in case anyone's concerned, that I've just said that I've got to pay £195 for the car, and I've only got £131 in the bank. I have 20, 30, 40, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80, 85. So I have got the 195 before the refund hits. The refund's about 130. So I've got enough, but I've still got, I'm either going to put it in the bank, or if I'm inclined to think I'm going to just take it all out of my bank and then put it into cash envelopes, because I'm less likely to spend it. A lot of this has all been tap, tap, tap with the card. That is my downfall. So that I'm going to put to one side, because I'm going to do my savings challenges in my next video. So of the 87.77 that I've got left, I'm going to put £5.30 towards savings challenges, leaving me with £82.47. I didn't think it would work out all right. I have £75 in my monthly cash envelopes. That doesn't include the weekly rollover envelope. It includes things like cats, health and wellness, social, fun, and my daughter has £20 in her cash envelope. That all comes to £75. So we're going to take it away, and it leaves me with £7.47 that I don't know what it went on. It's Cotton Eye Joe. Where did you come from? Where did you go? £7.47, because this is what my bank is telling me. I know that I spent cash on takeaway. That's it. That I got with my friends. So I'm not really sure what's happened to that. Yeah. So that is my weekly check-in. I'll set up for next week at the beginning of next week's video, I think, because that's gone. I don't know where that is. I'm going to put don't know. Something I haven't done for a while, or I don't feel like I have, is my wins and work-ons for the week. So my wins is that I didn't blow all that money. It was very spendy. I felt like, I'm sorry, I'm going to swear, like shit, basically. I'm not a very good patient. I don't like being ill. I'll carry on, and it's my own fault, because then I make my migraines 10 times worse. At one point, I was sat in a dark room with nothing on, with sunglasses on, with what they called a wet flannel over my head, and I was still in agony. And I'm trying very hard to stay away from pain medication because I was way over relying on it. It's addictive and it's scary, and coming off of it, I was so ill. I felt awful for 2 weeks, just the sweats and the flu-like symptoms. And so I should have just, yeah, like we got a Chinese last night because I felt so awful, and my daughter had cooked the night before because I felt rubbish. So at least I still have some money and haven't blown it all in my feeling like rubbish. And I've stayed in budget around birthday, which is, like I've already said, felt quite difficult because it's your babies and you want to buy everything for them. And I just think, oh, I could just blow all of this money that I've got saved up on bits for her. She would tell me off. She's very sensible. But yeah, I've got her what she wants and what she's asked for. And yeah, but like, you just want to buy everything for them, don't you? Anyway, work-ons. I need to be cash only. I can't have money on card. It's just, no, it's bad. And it's all hooked up online as well. And I think, oh, I should delete it. But I did that before with Just Eat and deleted it all. I deleted my account. I removed my bank card. I just went in and set it back all up again when I really wanted to take away. So if there's no money on my bank card, I can't do it. I've got to go to the bank or post office to put the money in. Takeaways, that's always going to be something to work on. So I'm going to do what my opening balance is in my next video. My office has already come out. Oh, quick note before, because this video is just under half an hour, Netflix is going to be dropped from my payments. I spoke to Sky because I have my TV with them, and my broadband contract is up for renewal this month. So I spoke to them. They offered me, I saved 33p on my monthly payment for my broadband, switching to them, which is not a big deal, but I just wanted someone who I'm with is good, but my speeds drop out. My phone disconnects from my Wi-Fi pretty regularly. It will suddenly just go, I'm connected to Wi-Fi, it's working on other devices, and it'll go, no internet. There's no internet. So it was time for change. I've been with them for a long time. But just I'm not getting the service, and they were kind of like, we don't know why this is happening, because it's happening on other devices, but it wasn't just my phone. So I spoke to them, and they also gave me, my broadband will be cheaper each month. It'll be part of my Sky TV bill, so it'll be TV and broadband, but it's like 33 cheaper than what I'm paying currently. And they've given it to me for 3 months for free, so that will my bills will go down a little bit. But they also put Netflix back on my Sky TV package. It's now going to be $5 a month, but it'll be through Sky, so I'll drop this line that says Netflix here, because it will be part of TV and broadband, and it'll only be $5 a month, so I'm saving $1.99 there as well. So we're looking at savings. So next week is going to be a bit messy. I need to add up, actually. Oh, sorry, I hit the camera. What's in my... So there's nothing left in my purse. I have £75 in my monthly rollover. My cash envelope rollover, 69p in bill account, and £131.07 in my bank rollover, plus the £85 I've got in weekly cash envelopes to start up next week. So my rollover is going to be 291.76. I'll have to double check that later, but from what it says here, that is what it shall be. Bill account rollover, bank rollover, monthly cash envelope rollover, and weekly rollover. You can see that because I do my weekly cash envelopes. It's going to be 85 instead of 40. So, right, that was not a lot quicker, but slightly quicker. Join me on my next video. I'm going to film it now. I'm going to cash stuff for week 2 of June and do savings challenges from week 1's leftover. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.